This new moon in Aquarius, January 29th, marks and symbolizes another period of time on humanity's evolutionary path. To be inspired is to be filled with breath. I love these words of Richard Rudd, the founder of Gene Keys. These words are a beautiful reminder to me. So let's take a breath together. And be present for this transmission. This new moon in Aquarius reflects back to us the time of initiation. New moon is new beginnings. New moon is always connected to the ovulation part of the cycle, of women's menstrual cycle. A moon is an archetype of feminine energy, our emotionality, our nurturing side, our caring side, what is natural for us. Moon symbolizes our inner wisdom, our intuition. This new moon is in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius symbolizes one-world consciousness, oneness with our Mother Earth, acceptance, inclusion, equality, our connection to animal kingdom and plants, our connection to Gaia, our connection to whole ecosystem, our interconnectedness. Aquarius symbolizes humanitarian endeavors, and when we pair all these aspects with symbolism of new moon, we receive the message that invites us to change our approach to how we see each other, how we see ourselves, how we see our role in the collective, and what it means to be playing a role, a unique role in the one-world consciousness. And each of us plays a unique role on this journey of evolution of humanity. To have a one-world consciousness which we are here to embody during this age of Aquarius, we have to accept each other. We have to let go of judgments towards differences that we have. But in order to do that, first we have to go within and do that with ourselves. We have to accept ourselves. We have to stop judging ourselves. We have to reconnect with our nature, which is symbolized by the moon. Let's go a bit deeper into the meaning of this new moon in Aquarius. From the perspective of Gene Keys, it's a fascinating stream of divine wisdom. If you haven't yet come across it, please do. You will see it's worth it. You will start remembering things about yourself you've never remembered before. From the perspective of Gene Keys, the Sun on Wednesday, 29th of January, will be transiting through the Gene Key 19, which is an archetype of transmutation of codependency into sensitivity of our hearts. And the Sun's energy of this archetype will be reflected by the new moon. Therefore, during this new moon in Aquarius, we are looking at new approach to our dependencies, to our codependency. This new moon invites us to take a new approach to our relationships with another, with substances, which we use to escape our emotions, and everything we are dependent on, everything where we give our power and responsibility away, everything where we outsource our happiness, our fulfillment and satisfaction. Codependency is a shadow dance of the ego with another. I will give you this thing, and in return you will give me another thing. So in this way we will both remain in our comfort zones, which to the mind, to the ego mind, is obviously what the ego mind wants to do. It wants to keep us in that comfort zone because it cares for our physical, mental and emotional safety. That's just how it is. This new moon in Aquarius initiates us to transmute codependency into sensitivity to the needs of other people, but not from codependent perspective, but from perspective of open heart, not from transactional point of view, but from the vantage point of aspiration. This is another beautiful word that Richard Rudd, the founder of Gene Keys, reminds us of. It comes from Latin, and aspiration in Latin means to breathe together. So what do we aspire to during this period and later on in our lives? What is deeply rooted in our heart values, in our core desires, our soul dreams? What is rooted there? Can we embody that? That's a question to be asking ourselves on a daily basis, I suppose. Have you recently noticed that your relationships to people, to things in your life, seem a bit off and require new approach, require more wholehearted approach? 64 Jinkies archetypes have connection to the 64 codons of DNA, and Jinki 19 is part of the codon ring of Gaia. Therefore, during this new moon in Aquarius, we may be asking ourselves more questions in relation to our planet, to animal kingdom, plants, connection to Mother Earth. We may be thinking deeply, contemplating our own unique role in this ecosystem. And here are a few practical things we can do during this new moon in Aquarius in order to transmute the energy of codependency into sensitivity of our heart. First, notice how you are feeling emotionally during this time. Contemplate all the things that you are dependent on in terms of your happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction. Contemplate where you deflect your self-responsibility. Contemplate how you can approach your desires, your ambitions in a new way that include others. And journal on what you can do to remember that the true power and freedom lies within you. You don't have to outsource those things. You don't have to find validation outside of yourself. So to briefly summarize, this new moon in Aquarius invites us to let go of our old ways of relating to things and people that bring us happiness, joy, satisfaction. This new moon in Aquarius is here to provide us with an energetic stage on which we can perform a magic of new beginnings, a new approach to experiencing our inner freedom and empowerment, self-acceptance and self-validation. This new moon in Aquarius is here to remind us that we need to release ourselves from the chains of codependency and victimhood and to connect deeply with our sensitivity, intuition and heart desires, to be more open and sensitive to other people's needs, to the needs of animals, plants, Gaia, the universe, consciousness. So let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I love to know how this message resonates with you. Peace, be inspired, be filled with divine breath.